अस्सलाम वालेकुम स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। आज हम EDU306 के MCQs का पार्ट 2 स्टार्ट करने लगे हैं। फाइनल टर्म प्रिपरेशन के हवाले से ये इम्पॉर्टेंट MCQs हैं। इनमें तमाम लेसन वाइज और टॉपिक वाइज MCQs जो हैं वो मैंने कवर करने की पूरी कोशिश की है। मुझे उम्मीद है कि ये वीडियो जो है ये आपके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़फुल रहेगी। मेरे इस वीडियो को आप अपने फेलो स्टूडेंट्स तक भी ज़रूर पहुँचाइएगा ताकि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा स्टूडेंट जो है ना वो अपने फाइनल टर्म की अच्छी प्रिपरेशन कर सकें। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं लेसन 33 के साथ। When was the Battle of Badr fought? It fought in 17th Ramadan 2 AH. What was the main reason for Quraysh to attack Muslim? Their trade route to Syria was threatened. How many soldiers did Muslims have at Badr? 313 men. Composition of Muslim army at Badr: 82 Muhajirin and rest were Ansars. How many kuffars were killed in the Battle of Badr? 70 kuffars. How many Muslims were martyred in the Battle of Badr? 14. Who were the first three kuffars killed by Muslim? Utbah, Sheba, Walid bin Utbah. Who killed Abu Jahl in the Battle of Badr? Maz and Mauz. What was the treatment of prisoners of war by the Prophet ﷺ? Freed some, others pay fidaya or teach Muslims. Which surah mentions the Battle of Badr? Surah Anfal. First formal battle in Islam was Badr. Battle of Badr occurred in 2 AH. Date of battle was 17 Ramadan. Immediate cause of battle was trade caravan. Leader of trade caravan was Abu Sufyan. Badr is about 80 miles from Medina. Badr was famous for festival. Route near Badr led to Syria. Total Muslim soldiers were 313. Muslims had horses. Muslim had 2 horses. Muslims had 70 camels. Swords with Muslims were 6 only. Number of Muhajirin was 82. Brotherhood between Muhajir and Ansar was called Muakhat. Total Kuffar soldiers were 1000. Horses with Kuffar were 100. Jackets, armors with Kuffars were about 600. First fighters from Muslims were Ali, Hamza, and Ubaidah. Abu Jahl was killed by Maz and Mauz. Kuffar killed in battle were 70. Prisoners captured were 70. Muslims martyrs were 14. Prisoners were freed by teaching and writing. Angels helped Muslim in Battle of Badr. Battle of Badr mentioned in Surah Anfal. Battle of Uhud. When was the Battle of Uhud fought? 7th Shawwal 3 AH. Why did Kuffar prepare for the Battle of Uhud? For revenge for Battle of Badr. Where did the Battle of Uhud take place? 5 kilometers north of Medina at mountain of Uhud. Who suggested the battle be fought outside the city? Youth of Muslims. How many soldiers remained with Muslims after the hypocrites left? 700. Who led the hypocrites who left Muslims' army? Abdullah bin Ubay. How many soldiers did Kuffar have in Battle of Uhud? 3000. Who was the leader of Kuffar army in the battle? Abu Sufyan. Which Muslim ladies helped in Battle of Uhud? Hazrat Aisha, Hazrat Salim. What role did Muslim ladies play? Providing water and helping wounded. Who was killed by Washi in the Battle of Uhud? Hazrat Hamza. Anhu. Why did Muslims temporarily face difficulty during the battle? Soldiers on the pass left early to collect booty. Who attacked Muslims through the pass during the battle? Khalid bin Walid. Who demonstrated bravery in the battle? Hazrat Hamza, Hazrat Ali, Hazrat Zubair, and Hazrat Abu Dujana. Anha. Why is the battle called Ghazwa-e-Khandak? Fought on a trench. It is also known as Battle of Trench. Who led the Kuffar in Battle of Trench? Abu Sufyan. Why were the Meccan Kuffar scared of Muslims? Muslim influence blocked Syria and Iraq trade routes. What was the main livelihood of Kuffar affected? Trade. Which Jew tribe were expelled from Medina? Banu Hunayka and Banu Nuzair. Where did the expelled Jew settle? They settled at Khyber and Syria. How many people were in Kuffar's army against Muslim? 10,000. Who promised help to Kuffar secretly? Exiled Jew tribes. What strategy did Hazrat Sulaiman Farsi anha suggest to dig a trench? Who participated in digging the trench? Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who crossed the trench and was killed by Hazrat Ali? Amr bin Abdiwad. Who killed a Jew attacking Muslim camp? Hazrat Safiya radhiyallahu anha. How many Muslims were martyred in the Battle of Trench? 6. What was the effect of Battle of Trench? Crash economy collapsed. Where is Hunain located? 40 km from Mecca. Which tribes opposed Muslims at Hunain? Hawazin and Suqaif. When did Prophet ﷺ march towards Hunain? 6th Shawwal, 8th Hijri. How many soldiers did Prophet ﷺ have at the Battle of Hunain? 10,000 initially and 2,000 were new, total 12,000. Why were Muslims initially surprised at Hunain? Enemy deployed forces in scattered form. How many soldiers were around Prophet ﷺ when army scattered? 10. What did Prophet ﷺ do to weaken enemy morale? Threw mud in their eyes. How many Banu Suqaif were killed? 70. Which event led to Muslim domination being accepted by Arabs? Fateh Mecca. Which rulers did Prophet ﷺ invite to Islam by letters? Powerful rulers of Rome, Persia, Egypt, Ethiopia, Yamama, and Syria. Why were many powers scared of Muslims after Fateh Mecca? Muslims' influence and strength were growing rapidly. How many soldiers did the Romans prepare to fight Muslims? 40,000 soldiers. What action did Khusro Parvez take after Prophet's letter? He tore the letter and refused. Which ruler embraced Islam after Prophet's letter? Najashi of Ethiopia. What was the condition of Muslims during preparation for Tabuk? Year of famine. Who donated everything for jihad? Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu. What did Hazrat Usman Ghani radhiyallahu anhu donate? He donated 900 camels, 100 horses, 1,000 dinars, and 200 okia silver. How many soldiers joined Muslims for Tabuk? 30,000 soldiers. What did Hazrat Umar radhiyallahu anhu donate? He donated half of his property. How many men shared one camel? Approximately 18. Why did Prophet ﷺ not allow some volunteers to join? Because of shortage of riding facilities. How did Muslims achieve victory at Tabuk? By Roman demoralization and withdrawal. How long did Muslims stay at Ghazwa-Tabuk? For 20 days. What did frontier tribes do after Tabuk? They accepted Islam or paid jizya. What is the unique lesson of Battle of Tabuk? God's help and strategy are key. Which surah should junior students memorize for learning battles? Surah Kausar. Which surah should senior students memorize? Surah Al-Kafirun. What is important for teaching junior students about battles? Name of countries, commanders, and opponents. What should senior students focus on while learning battles? They should focus on understanding war causes, enemies, outcomes, and surah memorization. How far is Hudaibia from Mecca? 10 miles. How many Muslims accompanied the Prophet ﷺ for Umrah during Hudaibia? 1400 Muslims. Why is the Treaty of Hudaibia famous in history? It is recorded as a great and unique event in Islamic history. Why did Hazrat Usman go to Kufar during Hudaybiyah to negotiate and clarify Muslims came for Umrah? What rumor spread due to Hazrat Usman Anha's delay? Hazrat Usman Anha met Shahadat. That was the rumor. How did the rumor affect Muslims? They became sad and emotional. Why is it called Bet Rizwan? Prophet ﷺ made a promise under a tree with Sahaba. That's why it's called Bet Rizwan. What did God do during Bet Rizwan? According to Quran, was pleased and granted victory. What was the purpose of Better Iswan? Decide on revenge for Hazrat Usman Anha, who represented Kuffar for signing the treaty, Suhail bin Amru. Why was the treaty called Sulh Hudaybiyah? Both parties promised not to commit war. Who wrote the treaty on behalf of Muslims? Hazrat Ali Anha. How did Sahaba feel about the treaty initially? They felt disappointed and unhappy. What aspects of the treaty upset the Sahaba? Muslim could not write Rasulullah. Which surah mentions that God knew the hearts of Muslims during Hudaybiyah? Surah Fateh. What was the first condition of the treaty for that year? Muslims should return this year without performing Umrah. What was agreed for the next year? Muslim could perform Umrah for only 3 days. Why was the stay limited to 3 days according to a treaty? To perform Umrah peacefully without hostility. According to the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, what was the rule regarding weapons when Muslims came for Umrah? Swords must be sheathed and kept tight in a bag. Why were swords not allowed to be displayed openly to prevent any offensive action against kuffar? What did the treaty state about Muslims from Mecca who wished to stay there? They could stay in Mecca voluntarily. What would happen if a Muslim or non-believer went to Medina? They should be returned to Mecca. What did the treaty say about the Arab tribes not present at the time of signing? They could freely choose which side to join. How long was the agreement of no war between Muslim and Kuffar? 10 years. Why is the treaty called Fateh Mubin despite appearing unfavorable to Muslims? It allowed separated families to meet and inspired kuffar to embrace Islam. Which two famous personalities embraced Islam during this era due to the treaty? Hazrat Khalid bin Walid anhu and Hazrat Amr bin As anhu. Which surah give guidance about believing women migrating to Muslims? Surah Mumtahana. What does the Quran say about returning believing women to disbelievers? Do not return them, they are lawful to Muslims. In which year did the Battle of Mu'tah take place? Jamadul 8 AH. Where is Mu'tah located? In Syria, short of Balqa. Why was Mu'tah famous historically? It produces excellent swords used in battle. How were swords of Mu'tah significant? Used in battle and sent as gift for trade. Who was sent to deliver the letter to Shurjil bin Amro? Hazrat Haris bin Umar anhu. Why did Hazrat Haris anhu attain Shahadat? Shurjil was hostile and angry on receiving the letter. Who was appointed commander of the army sent for Qasas of Hazrat Haris anhu? Hazrat Zaid bin Haris anhu. Who would become commander if Hazrat Zaid anhu met Shahadat? Hazrat Jafar Tayyar anhu. How many soldiers did Shurjil organize against the Muslims? 100,000. Where did Qaisar Rum camp his army? Where did Qaisar Rum camp his army? Tab in Balqa. How many Muslim soldiers fought against 100,000 enemy soldiers? Only 3,000. Who was called Saifullah, Sword of Allah, in this battle? Hazrat Khalid bin Walid anhu. How many swords broke during the battle under Hazrat Khalid's leadership? 8 swords. How did Muslims manage to withdraw safely despite being outnumbered? Properly strategy and scattered enemy prevented harm. Who was the senior ruler along with Shurjil opposing Muslim Qaisar Rum? In which month and year did Fateh Mecca occur? Ramzan al-Mubarak, 8 AH. Why was Fateh Mecca important? Kaaba was freed from idols and Islam restored. Who were the main opponent in Mecca before its conquest? Quraysh tribes. Which tribe joined Muslims after the Treaty of Hudaibia? Banu Khuza'ah. What was the first option given by Prophet ﷺ to Quraysh regarding Banu Khuza'ah attack? Pay Khun Baha. What was the third option offered by Prophet ﷺ to Quraysh? Withdraw from treaty. What did Quraysh do when presented with the three options? Set aside the Treaty of Hudaibia. Who was sent by Quraysh to Medina to reinstate the treaty? Abu Sufyan. How many people were in the Muslim army ready to move towards Mecca? 10,000. How did Prophet ﷺ plan the army to appear stronger, scattered, and burned fires to appear larger? When did Muslim armies start moving towards Mecca? 10th Ramzan, 8th Hijri. Where did the Muslim army camp before Mecca? Zuhran. How did Prophet ﷺ make the army appear huge, spread out with fires and weapons? Who was arrested and brought to the Prophet ﷺ? Abu Sufyan. What did Abu Sufyan do after embracing Islam? He remained a true Muslim and participated in future battles. Who was taken to see the Muslim army before marching to Mecca? Abu Sufyan. Why did Prophet ﷺ show the army to Abu Sufyan to convince him Mecca cannot face the army? Which house was guaranteed safety by Prophet ﷺ? House of Abu Sufyan, who were also promised safety besides those taking shelters in Abu Sufyan's house, those who voluntarily surrender. What other places offered protection by Prophet ﷺ? Masjid Haram and closed houses. Who headed a portion of the army in Mecca during entry? Hazrat Khalid bin Walid. Anhu. How did the young Quraysh react to Hazrat Khalid bin Walid's force? They ran away, leaving a few dead bodies. What was the first action of Prophet ﷺ in Masjid Haram? He kissed the Hajr-e-Aswad. How many idols were present in Khana Kaaba at that time? 360 idols. Which words did Prophet ﷺ recite while clearing idols? Verse number 81 of Surah Bani Israel. What message did Prophet ﷺ give to Quraysh in Hudaibiya? They are free, no punishment. Which surahs verses did Prophet ﷺ quote to show quality of human? Surah Al-Hujurat. What was the status of Khane Kaaba before Fateh Mecca, full of idols and idol worshippers? Which surah was revealed before Prophet ﷺ performed Hajj? Surah Nasr. What did Surah Nasr signify? Victory and people entering Islam in troops. In which year did Prophet ﷺ perform Hajj? 10 AH. How long after Fateh Makkah did Prophet ﷺ perform Hajj? Almost 2 years. What was a major challenge of performing Hajj at that time? Long journey and lack of facilities. How many Muslims approximately joined Prophet ﷺ for Hajj? 14,000. How were the tribes informed about Hajj? All tribes were informed to join. On which date did Prophet ﷺ start journey from Medina? 26 Zilqad. Where did Prophet ﷺ wear ihram at Zulhalifa? On which day did Prophet ﷺ reach Makkah for Hajj? 4th Zilhajj. How many camels were for sacrifice? 100 camels. How many Hajj did Prophet ﷺ perform in his lifetime? One. What did Prophet ﷺ do at Maqam Ibrahim? He offered two Nawafil. What did Prophet ﷺ recite at Safa and Marwa? Symbols of Allah. Where did Prophet ﷺ deliver his last sermon? At Arafat Valley. On which date was the last sermon delivered? 9th Zilhajj. What was the main message of the last sermon? Only Allah is to be worshipped. What did Prophet ﷺ say about the life and property of Muslims? Sacred trust. Which instruction was given regarding goods entrusted to others returned to rightful owners? What principles did Prophet emphasize about harming others? Hurt no one. What should Muslims always remember according to Prophet ﷺ hereafter and meeting Allah? What did Prophet ﷺ say about riba? Interest forbidden, all obligation waived. How did Prophet ﷺ describe following Shaitan? Be aware of Satan in small things. How should men treat their wives as partner, kind and just? What are the fundamental pillars emphasized? Prayer, fasting, zakat and Hajj. What did Prophet ﷺ say about racism? Only pity matters. What will happen to all people on the day of judgment? Answer of deeds. Which two guides did Prophet ﷺ leave behind? Quran and Sunnah. Will any new prophet come after Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? No. What should Muslims do with the Prophet's message? Pass it to others who will understand the message better, according to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Last listeners, how did Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam change his routine after Hajj? More time in prayers. How many times did he listen to Quran in Ramadan of 10th age twice? How long did he sit for itikaf in Ramzan? Age 20 days. What did Allah declare in Surah Maida about religion? Religion is perfected. What did Prophet ﷺ say about new prophets and faith? No new prophet or faith will appear. What two things did Prophet ﷺ leave behind? Quran and Sunnah. On which date did Prophet ﷺ fall ill before departure? 19th Safar, 11th Age. Which prayer was the last led by Prophet ﷺ? Maghrib. Who led the prayers after Prophet ﷺ fell ill? Hazrat Abu Bakr Rizal anhu. How did Prophet ﷺ address people in his final sermon? Offered to settle any rights or forgive. Where did Prophet ﷺ offer prayer during his final sermon? On sitting beneath Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Radiallahu anhu. What did Prophet ﷺ do with his wealth before death? Distributed among poor. Where was Prophet ﷺ staying during his last days? At the Hujra of Hazrat Aisha anha. How old was Prophet ﷺ when he passed away? He was 63 years old. Approximately how many people attend the last sermon? 14,000 people. So why is it important to teach the location and dates of Hajja-tul-Wida? For historical accuracy and understanding context, who was the first prophet according to Quranic studies? Hazrat Adam alayhi salam. How many Sahife were revealed to Hazrat Adam alayhi salam? 10. According to Dr. Ghazi, how many prophets received divine books? 315. How many Sahife were revealed to Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam? 3. इसके साथ ही हमारी ये वीडियो भी यहाँ मुकम्मल होती है और फाइनल टर्म के हवाले से तमाम MCQs जो हैं वो अब कवर हो जाते हैं। इन MCQs को आप मज़ीद बेहतर तरीके से समझ सकते हैं अगर आप मेरे लेक्चर्स भी अटेंड करें, तो फिर आपको ये MCQs बहुत आसानी से याद होते जाएंगे। मेरे लेक्चर्स को, मेरी वीडियोज़ को आप अपने फेलो स्टूडेंट्स तक वर्चुअल यूनिवर्सिटी के डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स में ज़रूर शेयर करें, सदका जारिया समझ के, ताकि मैक्सिमम स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो इन लेक्चर से फ़ायदा हासिल कर सकें। चैनल अगर सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो मेरा चैनल ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिएगा। कोई फीडबैक, कोई कमेंट देना चाहें तो आप ज़रूर मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में बता सकते हैं। मैं इंशाल्लाह पूरी कोशिश करूँगी आपको टाइमली रिस्पॉन्स देने की। नेक्स्ट वीडियो के साथ इंशाल्लाह जल्द हाजिर होंगी। तब तक आप सब अपना बहुत ख्याल रखिएगा। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।